Good evening and welcome to Red Devil Field. Tonight the Red Devils will face a very tough MUS Owl team. I'm David Bryant here with Eric Scott and Coach Jerry Ellis, and we are expecting a very tough, hard-hitting ball game tonight. This past week the Germantown Red Devils were ranked 3rd in the state of Tennessee in AAA. MUS in AA was ranked 5th in their category. Eric, we're expecting a very tough ball game tonight.
David, I'm expecting a hard-fought ball game. The MUS Germantown traditional game has always been very tough, and it's been a rivalry. Last year, Germantown won the game, 14-13 over MUS. MUS missed an extra point with very few seconds left in the game, and Germantown won. These are two different teams this year. It's going to be a tough game tonight.
MUS has a very young offensive backfield. They're led by junior D.D. Malmo. The coaches are very pleased with this player.
David, he's an excellent athlete. Like so many teams that Germantown has faced this season, they've had excellent quarterbacks. He can run the option. He can throw the ball. Anything that Coach Jake Rudolph wants to do, he's going to be able to do it. He's going to be the spearhead of the MUS offensive team tonight.
Coach, behind Malmo, they have 3 superb running backs.
They sure do. They got Bobby Wade, Andy Carroll, and Jay Steed. Bobby Wade being the senior, he's a fullback. He also is the kid that's built like a fire plug. Very strong legs. Coach Rudolph feels like it. He's the hard worker that a fullback has to be in that type of offense. And then behind him, they use 2 tailbacks. They use McCarroll. He's the bigger of the 2. Probably more durable type runner. Jay Steed is the fastest of the 2. He's very quick. If they can pop him through, they feel like he's got the quickness and the speed to maybe pop it and bring it all the way.
Coach, I talked to Coach Smith this past week, and they're expecting really tough things from Jay Steed.
Right, now Jay Steed, they feel like defensively that we've got to shut him down now. Bobby Wade will set up their inside game, and then they hope they get us concentrating on him. And then they can get Jay Steed open on the outside, and he can break it all the way for them.
Eric, they do have superb running backs. Their offensive line is a little bit suspect. They're not very large, but they are very quick.
They're not large at all, David. What Germantown has been able to do in the past is just overpower people. They've played teams that have been good, but they're not powerful. They're not big. Germantown on defense is going to try to overpower them, but they've got to be aware of Jay Speed and then Malamo. Both of those players can run. If he doesn't pitch the ball off to Steed, he'll take it himself, and he can pick up 10, 12 yards quickly, and then he hurts you.
Coach, MUS did beat Bartlett last week by a score of 38-12, so that just shows you how powerful their offensive is. Last week, the Germantown Red Devils had a very good road trip to Warren County, to McMinnville, Tennessee. They defeated Warren County by a score of 14-0. Let's take a look at the recap of that ball game.
On Friday, September the 16th, the Germantown High School Red Devils traveled to McMinnville, Tennessee for their first road game of the season. McMinnville was ranked 7th in both coaches' poll and would prove to be a true test for the Devils. After a 30-yard touchdown run by Howard Moss, we pick up the action in the second quarter. Germantown has the ball 1st down and 10 near midfield. On 3rd down and long, quarterback Forrest Neighbors completes a 10-yard pass to number 22 Howard Moss, giving the Devils another 1st down. On 1st down and 10, the Devils cough up the ball, giving McMinnville excellent field position. McMinnville gets possession and immediately starts moving against the Devils' defense. On 2nd down and 6, number 52, Marshall Boswell, makes a key tackle for the Devils. Again, Germantown is able to stop McMinnville, forcing them to punt. On 4th down, McMinnville goes for it, but the Devils' defense prevails. Germantown goes into the halftime locker room with a 7-0 lead. Germantown kicks off to McMinnville to start the second half. On 1st down and 10, McMinnville picks up about 3 yards. On 3rd down and long, the Devils' defense prevails, stopping McMinnville, forcing them to punt. After a punt of about 30 yards, Germantown has the ball 1st down and 10 near midfield. Neighbors hands off to Cantu up the middle for about 9 yards. Then on 1st down and 10, senior quarterback Forrest Neighbors goes around left end, turns upfield and scampers for 25 yards, giving Germantown an excellent chance to score. 3 plays later, George Cantu goes across from 1 yard out, giving Germantown a commanding 13-0 lead. Senior Mike Witt adds the extra point, making the score Germantown 14, McMinnville nothing. Germantown's defense is able to stop McMinnville the rest of the game. The Devils walk away with a very impressive 14-0 win. Good luck to the Devils as they take on M.U.S. in tonight's ball game.
Coach, the Devils defense played very well last week against Warren County.
Yeah, I did not make the trip, but I talked to Coach Smith, also saw the film, and they knew it would be a hard-hitting ball game. McMinn County's probably know them more for their defense and their offense, but still they had a good offense going in. They matched up against our defense, and I think we held them to a little under 100 yards, and that speaks very well for our defense, which is very sound, very alert. We don't want to give them anything both on the ground or in the air. And I talked to some of the players, and they said it was probably one of the hard-hittingest games we've had this year.
Eric, the Devils' offense is hurting a little bit this past week. They've had a few injuries and a few players get sick.
Well, David, George Cantu, the starting tailback for Germantown for the last 3 games, is out. He's had the flu all week. He's very questionable for tonight. He is dressed out. But on the other hand, Chris Coppage, the other running back in their wishbone offensive formation, is not dressed out. He has a severe shoulder injury. He's not dressed out, so I guess he's not going to play tonight. Coach Graves says they're going to put Buzz Wathall in his place and put Buzz in the swing back. Buzz is an excellent athlete. He can catch the ball and he can run the ball. You're really not losing much when you get without Chris, but we could use him in there.
That's right. We talked to Coach Graves about it this past week, and he said that if the injuries go ahead and Chris Coppage can't play, like he's not dressed out now, they might run the I formation tonight more than the wishbone, and that would be a big surprise for the Red Devils.
Yeah, he said if Cantu gets ill or does not feel good during the course of the game and Cantu has to come out, they're going to run out of the I. They're going to put either a senior in there, Mike O'Neill, or they're going to put a sophomore, Craig Hallman. So Germantown has the backs that can go in there in case they have people ill.
Coach, Forrest Neighbors is still in and doing a superb job.
For sure is. I commented on the tape earlier about Forrest's play up at McMinnville. They ran the option one time. He broke it right up the middle. They tried to shut down the outside game. He turned it right up the field, got down about the 10-yard line.
The Red Devils played Super Ball last week, and they were led by their defense. And one person in particular played Super Ball, and this was Marshall Boswell. He is our GHS-TV Player of the Week.
In the lobby of the gymnasium.
GHS-TV has chosen its Player of the Week for the Warren County game, and this week's player is Marshall Boswell. Marshall is a senior defensive end for the Red Devils and had an exceptional game against Warren County. I had a chance to talk to Marshall about the game. How do you believe the defense is playing the whole year, including the Warren County game?
Well, we've been playing real consistent, especially the Warren County game, because we've got an old adage we use in the locker room, and although it sounds cliche, it makes sense, and that is, if they can't score, they can't win. So we use that, and that's the way our defense tries to play.
Marshall, you are a senior. How does it feel to be a senior on the ball club?
Well, I feel like I've got a lot more pride in the team, and I feel like I've got a lot more say in the tide with which the team's going to go. I think that all the seniors feel like we've got a good team this year. We've got a strong, powerful team. They can probably go all the way if we just work hard, and I think all the seniors feel the same way.
What do you believe Germantown will have to do to go to the playoffs and maybe win a state championship?
Well, I'd have to say we're going to have to take each game one at a time, 1 week at a time, and just you can't get up the steps unless you take each step one at a time.
How do you feel about the upcoming game against M.U.S?
Well, M.U.S always has a consistent, well-balanced team. They play hard. They play real smart football, but I think that we play just as smart football, and we can beat them if we just play hard-nosed.
Marshall, how does it feel being named the second player of the week for GHS?
It's a great honor, and yesterday when Coach Nellen asked me to stay after practice, I thought I was in trouble for something, so it was a nice surprise to find out, and I'm very honored by it.
All right. Congratulations to Marshall Boswell, and good luck to the Red Devils in tonight's ball game. Coach, the defensive squad has played superb ball throughout the whole year.
That's true. Up at McMinnville, like the Player of the Week, Marshall Boswell, that was a good reward for him. You know, his family spent so much South football programs. Chris, his older brother, plays at Southwestern. His younger brother, Robbie, is on the freshman team. And that is truly, we're grateful for the Boswell family for providing 3 good athletes for us.
Eric, the defense has played superb ball the whole year.
That's right, David. They have only allowed 21 points in 3 games, and that all came in the game against West Memphis. West Memphis was an explosive team, and Germantown's defense has been one of the keys to the Devils being 3-0 now.
I've been really impressed with the Devils' defense. Of course, led by the 2 linebackers, Elliott Watts and Mark Bowen, have played superb ball. The defensive line is coming off with Eric Steele and not giving the opposing team any time to pass. They're having to run, and the Devils just do not give up much yardage running the ball, Coach.
That's right. Now, tonight, we've got a little different situation facing us. M.U.S. is a well-balanced team. Basically, their offense is geared around the I, pro I, which means tight end and flank on one side, split in on the other. They like to hit the fullback up the middle, either on a trap or just a dive play, and then they've got their option off of that play, and then that opens up the outside for them. If they can get the fullback going inside, it helps the outside game.
Right. Jay Steed is very fast and very quick. If he gets to the outside, just like Kevin Williams for West Memphis, if you'll remember that ball game, they're both really the same type of running back, have great speed. If they get to the outside, they have a great chance to score, and I believe M.U.S. will test the ends for the Devils.
Yeah, that's right. They've got good deception. In other words, they carry the fakes out well, and they're well coached, and they'll try to what we call finesse you. They'll get you in a situation just like they want it, and then they get that option called at the right time. They get the right pitch, they're off to the races.
All right, Coach, let's take a look at the lineups for tonight's ball game against M.U.S. in Germantown.
And now the starting lineup for tonight's game, beginning with the Germantown Red Devils offensive line. Number 87, Bob Jix, is a junior at Germantown High School this year and is starting at tight end. Number 76, Eric Steele, is also a junior this year at Germantown and is starting at offensive tackle. Starting tonight as offensive guard is senior Mark Bowen, number 77. Starting at center tonight for Germantown is number 78, Jody Whitfield, who's a junior this year. Next is number 69, Elliott Watts, who's starting tonight as offensive guard. Elliott's a senior this year. Next is 79, Jay Duggins. Jay is starting tonight at offensive tackle, and Jay is also a senior at Germantown High School. Number 82 is Gary Brown. Gary is the tight end tonight and is a junior. At starting tailback tonight for Germantown is number 45, Chris Coppage. Tonight's quarterback for Germantown Red Devils is number 16, Forrest Neighbors. Forrest is a senior for Germantown this year. Senior Howard Moss, number 22, is starting tonight for Germantown as fullback. Also starting at fullback tonight is junior number 42, George Cantu. And now on to the defensive lineup for tonight's game, starting for the Germantown Red Devils. First we have defensive end, number 52, senior Marshall Boswell. Next we have number 51, defensive tackle, Tom Pruitt. Next is junior William Butler, number 50, starting tonight at defensive guard. Starting tonight at linebacker is number 69, senior Elliott Watts. Starting at defensive tackle is number 79, senior Jay Duggins. And now starting at defensive end tonight is number 72, junior Gerald Kilpatrick. Starting tonight at cornerback is number 17, senior Paul West. Also starting at cornerback tonight is senior number 14, Buzz Wathaw. Number 10, Brian Donnelly, who's a sophomore, is starting for Germantown tonight at free safety. Also starting at free safety tonight is number 89, senior Bon Tubbs. And finally, rounding out Germantown's roster is senior Mike Quitt, number 19, who is Germantown's kicker. And now let's take a look at the 1983 M.U.S. Owls starting lineup. Beginning with the offensive line, we have number 77, James Hudson at tackle, number 67, Bob McEwen at guard, number 54, Craig White at center, number 61, Evans Jack at guard, 75, James Carter at tackle, and number 88, Rob Sumner at tight end. And now look at MUS's starting backfield, with number 81, John Dobbs at end, 36, Andy McCarroll at tailback, number 31, Bobby Wade at fullback, number 10 is Dee Malmo at quarterback, 22, Jay Steed at tailback, 30, David Disney flanker, and number 40 is Scott Williams, also at flanker. And now for MUS's starting defensive line and linebackers. Number 36, Andy McCarroll starting at linebacker, 88, Rob Sumner, defensive end, 67, Bob McEwen at linebacker, 74, Owen Tabor, defensive tackle, 31, Bobby Wade, linebacker, 77, James Hudson is tackle, 83, Parker Phillips at defensive end, and number 22, Jay Steed at linebacker. And now finally, MUS's defensive backfield. Number 13, George Early at cornerback. Number 30, David Disney at cornerback. Number 10, Dee Malmo, safety. Number 81, John Dobbs, a cornerback. And number 40, Scott Williams, also a cornerback. There you have it, the complete starting lineups for both the Germantown Red Devils and the M.U.S. Owls. GHS-TV would like to wish good luck to both teams, and may the best team win.
Eric, everyone is really excited for this ball game.
David, the team has been up. They've had, the cheerleaders have been making signs. They started selling tickets Monday for tonight's game. They're expecting a large crowd, and they have added some extra bleachers. So there's going to be a large crowd tonight. It's a rivalry, like I said before. It's a traditional rivalry between Germantown and M.U.S.
Coach, the rivalry really has blossomed in the last 3 or 4 years with close games every time they play.
That's true, David. I tell you, I think it even goes back further than that. You know, Coach Nellen's been here 10 years, and I think we have played him every year that he's been here. And every game, sometimes the score seems like it's maybe one-sided, but every year, whoever's underdog, they come into this game feeling like they can win.
Right.
And that's what makes it such a great rivalry.
Coach, this is the type of game that I would just love to be down there on the field in. Is it hard getting the players up? It wouldn't seem like it would be to me.
No, it's not. I tell you, I think we get up more for Christian Brothers and M.U.S. than any other team. And I speak kind of out of line, but I believe the coaches didn't have to do anything as far as a pep talk to get the kids up for this ball game. They're ready tonight.
Eric, a lot of the players know other players on the other team and developed a lot of friendships between the team. But I believe that once they get on the field, these friendships will not be a factor.
David, this is for bragging rights. Bragging rights are between Germantown and M.U.S. A lot of M.U.S. people live out in Germantown. If they are to win, this would put like the cap in Coach Rudolph's feather in his cap this year.
Coach, I believe we're ready for the national anthem, so let's go down to the field with the Germantown Marching Band.
And remain for the color guard and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Y'all stay seated. They can't see me. Just stay seated. Attention. 3 balls. Are you listening? Attention. 1, 2, 3. Play it. Stop. Go.
For the M.U.S. Owls, Jake Rudolph. Let's go into that tape now to see what the coaches had to say on each of the ball teams.
Hello, my name is Kevin Holliday, and earlier this week I was given the opportunity to speak with Devils coach Ken Netherland about their 14-0 win over Warren County last week.
Well, we felt like, we played an excellent ball game, having traveled that far and spent so much time on the bus. Our kids were a little mentally down, but we played a good ball game defensively, made some mistakes offensively, but we're able to win the ball game.
Coach, the high school AAA rankings have come out, and Germantown was ranked number 3 in the state of Tennessee. Do you feel that that's going to have any effect on your play in tonight's game against MUS?
Well, I don't think it will have any effect on our play. It certainly has a kind of advantage for the other team. It fires them up and makes them want to win the ball game more. And if anything, the polls are more for parents and for the community than it is for the kids. They realize they've got to play good football to maintain that ranking. And I hope we can continue to play well and try to improve every week regardless of where we are in the rankings.
Without a doubt, the MUS team will be coming out to do just about anything they can to get Germantown out of that number 3 ranking. Do you think that there are any key players or plays, so forth, that you're going to have to look for in the MUS game?
Well, MUS has a balanced ball club. They throw the ball well. They've got 3 good running backs. They play good defense. They've got a good kicking game. They're a sound ball club. We're just going to play good football and eliminate some of the mistakes we've been making in order to win the ball game.
Because of the fact that Germantown suffered a great number of injuries Friday night against McMinnville, I asked Coach Netherland whether he thought this would be a problem.
We had 3 young men that were hurt in the Warren County ball game, and they haven't responded yet. Chris Coppage is a very doubtful starter Friday night. He looks like he'll miss this ball game. We've had some sickness that I'm concerned about. Some kids have been sick all week. But being a type of football team we are, we've got some young men that we feel like can step in and play. They're just going to have to play better than they normally do.
Okay, our final question, Coach, is how do you think this year's game against MUS will compare to the 14-13 win you had over MUS last year?
Well, every year I've been at Germantown, the MUS ball game has been an exciting ball game. They've been close ball games. The last 3 years have been storybook finishes in all 3 ball games. I don't look for this one to be any different. MUS has a good ball club. We respect them. We know they'll be playing their best. We've got to play our best, and I think the breaks, the mental attitude is going to have a lot to do with who wins the football game.
Okay, Coach. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With this in mind, we then took our crew to MUS, where we spoke with Coach Rudolph about tonight's game.
The previous 3 or 4 games that we've had, I don't know, I just hope we can make a good ball game of it. Germantown, my way of thinking, and from what I've seen of them, probably have their best team that they've had in several years, if not their best all-around team. We can't find many weaknesses to the team, and we know we got our hands full.
In your game against Bartlett, I was told that 3 of your running backs had over 100 yards in that game. Who are some of the key players for MUS that you expect to do exceptionally well in tonight's game?
Well, we are kind of alternating our 2 tailbacks, Andy McCarroll and Jay Steed. Andy had 95 yards. He didn't quite make 100. He came down with the leg cramps in the 4th quarter, and I think that's what prevented him from making it. But Andy's a big tailback, and he's a sophomore and has tremendous potential. And he ran extremely well. Steve came in and played the whole 4th quarter and was alternating earlier, and he had about 117 yards, I think. And our little fullback, Bobby Wade, had a tremendous game. He had 112 yards. And we were able to keep him honest in the middle with Bobby, and it opened up our running game real well.
Coach, are there any key players or plays that you're going to be looking for in tonight's game against Germantown?
That's a tough question to answer because Germantown has so many fine running backs. The quarterback's doing a great job, but with Moss and Coppage and Cantu at fullback, and then they've got great replacements for them. It's very difficult to key on any one person, so we haven't engaged our defense to do that, and they also control pretty well. So I hope we can cook up something to slow them down a little bit and at least make the game close.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much, and good luck in tonight's game. This has been Kevin Holliday for GHS-TV Sports.
Eric, both teams are back out on the field, and they've already had the flip of the coin.
That's right, David. MUS won the flip of the coin. They will be defending the north goal and receiving the opening kickoff. I'm looking forward to seeing what Germantown's defense can do against the MUS offense.
Mike will be doing the kicking for the Red Devils. A very good kicker, Coach.
He sure is. He's turned into an excellent kicker. He'll hopefully get it deep and high and allow our kickoff coverage team to get in good support, try to hold them inside the 20-yard line.
All right, we're about ready to start the game against the Germantown Red Devils and the MUS Owls. A natural rivalry between the two schools.
That's right, David. Mike Witt, the kicker for Germantown, he's a senior, and he's been averaging about 50 yards per kickoff.
Fans really pumped up at Germantown, everyone on their feet, stands. Red Devils break the huddle for the kickoff.
David, it's a little nippy out here for the fans, but I guarantee you it's just right for the athletes. They need a little coolness like this, keep them real poised and cool. It's going to be a hummer tonight.
This is what you would call excellent football weather.
Very good, that's right.
You see Mike Witt, number 19. And here we go. A short kick by Witt, about the 20-yard line. And the Red Devils stack it up on about the 30-yard line, Coach.
That's good coverage. Michael O'Neill's in on the tackle.
Number 31, Bobby Wade, received the opening kickoff. He's a 5'7", 180-pound senior, David. He's their big man at fullback. He'll be starting in the backfield.
You see the MUS offensive team, and I believe that's D.D. Malmo as quarterback.
They're not very big, David.
The ball's on about the 30-yard line, first down and 10 to go. And the power I, straight up the middle by MUS. And very nice run, Coach. It looked like they had him stacked up on the line.
That's right. That's an example of the hard work and determined type runner that Bobby Wade is. They hit him right on the line of scrimmage. There was that road trap that they run so well. We hit it, played very well, but he popped through and got about 2 or 3 yards on his own.
Junior Tommy Pruitt made the tackle for Germantown.
It was about a 5-yard gain. It'll be second down and 5 yards to go for MUS. The ball on the 35-yard line.
Fumble.
And there's a fumble on the play, and the ball's, and MUS guy picks it right up. Tough play for the Red Devils.
You hate to see that. We had a good play, knocked the ball loose, the ball squirted up, one of their receivers fell on it.
Coach, the ball rolled about 10 yards.
Sure did. That's true. That's the break.
It's going to be first down and 10, ball on about the 47-yard line for MUS. A good break for MUS.
Senior Bond Tubbs knocked that ball loose, David.
There's Bond right there.
Number 89.
He's a senior cornerback for the Red Devils this year.
He's also on their split end. One of their wide receivers has excellent hands.
So we have first down, MUS set to go. Fake draw by MUS. It's overthrown and nearly intercepted by Brian Donnelly.
David, that's something they teach the quarterbacks. When you throw that kind of pass right down the middle, you try to underthrow it, then overthrow it. They got lucky that number 10, Brian Donnelly, did not intercept that.
Coach, I believe the receiver was open.
Well, it looked like he was open here, but our linebackers had dropped very well, and I think that's why the ball wound up high. D.D. Malmo felt like he had to get a little bit high to get it over Mark and Elliott. Therefore, the ball was a little bit high for the receiver.
All right, so it'll be second down and 10 yards to go for MUS. As D.D. Malmo leads the team up to the line. Good play before the Red Devils, Coach.
Right. I imagine Germantown will want D.D. Malmo to carry the ball most of the time on the option. Not that he's, that we're trying to pick on him, but the tailbacks are so good, probably feel like it. If Malmo is forced to keep the ball defensively, we're in a little bit better shape.
Senior linebacker Mark Bowen made the tackle for Germantown. He's 6'2", 227 pounds. He is an excellent athlete.
It'll be third down and about 7 yards to go for MUS. I expect they might pass, or maybe that sprint draw that we were talking about in the
That's
pregame
right.
show.
I wouldn't be surprised if the sprint draw was not run this play.
I believe it might be offsides on the Devils. I thought he might get back in time, Coach.
Well, what the rule is, David, if he breaks that neutral zone, that's called encroachment, and whether he makes contact or not, he gets back. That is a 5-yard penalty, if that's the case. I believe it is.
5-yard penalty against Germantown.
Have encroachment, defense, third down.
As you heard, the official will be third down, about 2 yards to go for MUS. Tough play for the Red Devils.
Encroachment.
They've got their 2 big fullbacks in there. They might run right up the middle and try to overpower Germantown.
Ball on about the 45-yard line. Pitch to Andy McCarroll, first down for MUS, about the 39-yard line, Coach.
That's a good play. That's your toss sweep. It's not designed to go outside all the way. What they do, they pitch it to the tailback, and he reads the block of the end. If our defensive end contains it well, he'll break back inside like he did then.
Mark Bowen made his 2nd tackle of the night.
Will be first down and 10. The ball on the 40-yard line for MUS. And Coach, they are moving very well.
They did something a while ago. Remember the pass that was incomplete? They threw on first down. That may be part of their game plan. We may be looking for the run. They may be throwing when we're not expecting it.
Coaches probably feel they need to keep the defense off balance.
They threw then, David. First and 10, they threw the ball.
The pass was intended for Scott Williams.
Coach, are you surprised by them coming out like this with this offense?
No, I'm not really. Coach Rudolph's a good coach. He'll try to use his material against ours, and he'll try to use it to the best of his ability.
It's got to be second down and 10 after that incomplete pass from D.D. Malmo.
They have
on the 40-yard line.
MUS does look impressive on their first opening offensive series.
They had that good break with the fumble, Coach, and they're down on the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
And then the penalty against Germantown that moved the ball 5 yards. Second down and 10.
Malmo drives back. He has good pressure. Well set up play. About a 6 to 7 yard gain, Coach.
What they did, David and Eric, they simulated a screen to the left and came back to the short side of the field and hit the fullback right out down a little short screen.
That pass complete.
It looked like it gained a lot more than it did because he was so deep when he caught the pass. I think we still got third down and about 3.
In the pregame show, we talked about a hard-hitting game. We can hear the pads hitting all the way up here. Number 10, Brian Donnelly, made the stop on that play, David.
That was Bobby Wade with the catch and a nice run. Be third down. It's a big play, Coach.
The last time they ran the toss sweep in the same situation.
Straight drop back. Good pressure by the Devils. D.D. Malmo escapes. And then it's tackled by the Red Devils. An excellent play.
Good pursuit. Good gang tackling.
Of a loss of about 3 yards for MUS. David, a big keynote since last year's game was lost by an extra point by MUS. Their starting kicker is out of town on a soccer tournament. I wonder if that'll play a big part in tonight's ball game.
William Butler finally made the play for the Red Devils. Good pursuit. You saw the quickness by D.D. Malmo. Very quick quarterback. MUS is set to punt. Coach, and MUS downs it on about the 3 yard line for the Red Devils with a penalty flag.
That's right. We'll wait and see what that flag is.
Right kick.
MUS will undoubtedly have them pinned down in tough position.
It might be an illegal block on number 10, Brian Donnelly. He hit one of the MUS players, and then the referee immediately threw the flag. We'll have to wait and see.
Coach, I would think that MUS would decline the penalty.
Well, it's hard to say. If they take it, it'll put it on about the 2.5. If they leave it, it's on about the 3.5.
We'll just have to see. The officials talking it over between themselves.
I believe they're going to bring it back. This may be a break for MUS.
So it will be first down for MUS, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I don't know the circumstance of the penalty, though.
Penalty is against Germantown.
We'll see what the official says.
15-yard penalty.
I believe you hit it right, David. I believe we blocked below the waist.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
First down.
Personal foul for the Red Devils, Coach, and I didn't see the penalty.
I didn't either.
Just inside the 25.
First down for
That's a tough
M.U.S.
penalty for us.
They've had 3 big breaks, David. We have not seen number 22, Jay Steed, in the M.U.S. backfield tonight.
That is very surprising. And M.U.S. it's a very nice option play.
Sure was.
Carroll carrying. First hit was made by
22, Howard Moss made a tackle for Germantown. He almost broke that one in the end zone for 6 points.
That's one of the toughest plays for a quarterback. He had to turn his back to the end that he was an option off of. Tight spin, and A in close real quick. He took the leg, got the pitch off, made an excellent play out of it.
They did pick up the first down. They're on about the 13-yard line for the Red Devils. The Red Devils are in trouble, Coach.
No team has ever scored on the Germantown Red Devils in the first or the fourth quarter.
Diddy Malmo drops back in the pocket and overthrows his intended receiver. Coach Malmo has missed all his receivers overthrowing him. What is the contributing factor in a quarterback overthrowing the receiver?
Well, I really don't know the exact answer. It could be that it may have been a misread on the pass pattern itself. A lot of times the quarterback and the receiver both read the secondary, and it could be that the receiver pulled up a little short.
Will be second down for M.U.S.
They should walk away with at least 3 points on this drive. The ball is resting right now on about the 11-yard line.
Remember, M.U.S.'s kicker is not here at this time, so
he's in Oak Ridge, Tennessee on a soccer trip.
I would think that M.U.S. would want to try to get it in the touchdown. Good play by the defense.
That's a sprint draw they tried to run. Well played.
Noseman William Butler made the tackle for Germantown.
Superb play by Butler. A loss of about a yard on that play. A third down, about 11 yards to go. And the Devils' defense is buckled down and is playing good defense.
Big play right here, David.
Didi Malmo over center. Third down, 11 to go. Intercepted. I believe that's Bon Tubbs, number 89.
Picked it right off.
Big play.
Very big play for the Devils.
That's his second interception of the year, David.
that interception.
A question for Coach. Coach Ellis, what would you do if you was Coach Snellin? Would you try to pass or just run right up the middle?
I think he's going to keep the ball on the ground, punch it out, see if we can't get a little working room. If he gets out, you know, wait his goalpost, he'll open up then. Right now, he just doesn't want a bad play or an interception down here.
You see Bond talking to Coach Netherland. Devils back against the wall. Miles straight up the middle. I believe he has the first down, Coach. Good play.
That's right.
He had a big hole to run to, David. The offensive line made a big hole, and he just darted right through there.
Straight up the middle, and Germantown looks like they're ready to go on offense.
Drove him right out. Good run.
And Walt.
John Dobbs made the tackle for M.U.S. As you see
that play was right over Elliott Watts and Jay Duggins and Jody Whitfield. Good blocking.
Right down on the line here. Handoff by, I believe that's to Howard Moss. No, excuse me, George Cantu.
I'm glad to see Cantu's in the game. He's been sick all week and was very questionable for tonight's ball game.
About a 4-yard gain, Coach.
Second about 6.
Down about the 21-yard line, I believe.
Second. And about 7.
Coach, the Devils do not look rattled at all from that first offensive play by M.U.S.
Right. They settle down. They're a seasoned ball club. They're all right.
Here's George Cantu. Good run for a first down again. That's 3 plays and 2 first downs, Coach.
That's a good average, David.
Scott Williams made the tackle for M.U.S.
First down, first and 10, Red Devils.
Germantown started to move the ball effectively here.
See if we can keep it alive. The ball on about the 29-yard line. First down, 10 to go. Forrest Neighbors over center. Offsides penalty. We'll just have to wait and see who it's on.
5-yard penalty against Germantown.
Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure. We'll make it first.
Like someone on the right side of the line moved too quick there, David.
All right, it'll be first down and 15 yards to go.
Number 87, Bob Jix, brings the play in for Germantown.
See the Red Devils?
Running out of the familiar wishbone.
Pitch to Howard. Good run by Moss. About 5-yard gain. Howard Moss, a very awesome running back, Eric.
That was the option to the left side.
Dogs and Steed.
See a close-up of the Germantown huddle.
Jay Steed made a tackle for M.U.S. He's our outstanding running back who we did not see in their first offensive series. Second down and long for Germantown.
Howard Moss straight up the middle. I believe for about 4 yards.
That's a blast play again.
Moss carrying. Sumner making the stop.
So we see Howard Moss, number 75, Jay Duggins, 79. Coach Leland Smith pacing the sidelines.
Had to be pleased with how his defense buckled down and stopped M.U.S.
I tell you, he's already thinking about this next series, what he wants to work on defense, tendencies that M.U.S. is likely to use.
Option by Forrest Neighbors, and he busted it. Beautiful run by Forrest Neighbors. All right.
Beautiful
Big
run.
play by Forrest Neighbors.
That's good downfield blocking, too. Gary Brown moved downfield, gave him that little block that gave him about an extra 10 to 12 yards.
James Hudson made the tackle for M.U.S. The ball is first down and 10 on the M.U.S. 38-yard line.
Ball at the M.U.S. 37.
Beautiful play by Forrest Neighbors, Coach.
Sure was. Good run. And at the right time, too.
That is exactly what the Red Devils needed. It's on about the 36-yard line, first down. George Cantu for about 4 to 5 yards.
David, that's the first time we've broken the wishbone tonight. Split backs with a slot. They ran the counter.
Bob Evans made the tackle for M.U.S. Forrest had a big run last week up in McMinnville, setting up Germantown's second touchdown.
Forrest is excellent on the option play, knows exactly what to do, has a cool head when he's out on the option, and, you know, runs it exceptionally well.
Makes it look real easy, doesn't he?
Very talented athlete.
Be second down, 6 yards to go. And George can't. Quick whistle, Coach.
Well, you hate to see that whistle come at that time. They pinched in on the defense. That goes back to a guessing game. They probably guessed we were going to try to run the blast play out of that, and they guessed right.
George Cantu goes for about 1 yard, making it third down, about 6 yards to go. We might see our first pass by the Red Devils.
Could be.
Play. All right, Devils line up. It's third down to go.
We're in the end over there. We're unbalanced left, David.
Option play.
Keep it at
Forrest Neighbors with another beautiful option play. For the first down
behind.
again. He is running the option play to perfection.
Neighbors carrying. Pick up the first down. Stop was made by Wade. It'll be first and 10 for the Red Devils.
Stop was made by Bobby Wade. Ball's on the 27-yard line. Excuse me, the 18-yard line. Red Devils first down, 10 to go. Coach, they're finding plenty of room on the ends.
I tell you, we're getting good blocking on the ends, too. That was your tall sweep there where he's got an option going inside or outside. Our offensive end was able to hook their defensive end, and we got a little room on the outside.
Jay Steed made the tackle for M.U.S.
Red Devils a very good drive.
If we score on this one, this will be about a 97-yard drive.
Right. They started way back in M.U.S.'s territory.
Very impressive.
There's your trap, David.
Beautiful run by Cantu. Excellent blocking.
Right back over the right side.
I believe he had enough to pick up the first down.
Picked up the first down. It'll be first and goal.
The ball's on the 5-yard line. First down to go for the Red Devils. This is one of the best drives I've seen all year from the Red Devils.
That's right.
I don't believe they passed one time.
We'll probably just line up, stuff it right in there.
As the first quarter ends, score is 0-0. Germantown on the 5-yard line. See Forest Neighbors coming over to the sideline to Coach Neville. And what are some of your impressions on the first quarter? A very quick first quarter.
You're right, David. I tell you, M.U.S. look good. Now, what they try to do, they're a little different than we are. They'll spread you out, make you have to defend the whole field. That's basically because they don't have quite the big people that we've got. We're more of a type of team that say you've got to stop our best thing, and that's the run and the option. We mix it up pretty good, but, you know, both teams look well. Well coached, well prepared.
Coach, what will the M.U.S. Owls have to do in the future of the game to stop the Red Devils? They have been unable to stop them up the middle and also to the outside.
Well, one thing I think Coach Rudolph hopes to do is to force Germantown to have to go along with the score. Now, of course, he would have liked to score down there. They had the interception, but I know he was at least pleased by the fact that we were backed up and have to go a long way if we were to score.
You see the band for the Red Devils trying to cuddle up. It is very chilly out here tonight, Eric.
Yeah, I got some first quarter stats, David. M.U.S. gained 45 yards total offense, 40 yards on the ground and 5 yards in the air. Malamo was 1 for 5 with 1 interception.
For each grade.
Yeah, the Red Devils set to go. I believe it's first down, 5 yards to go.
We're in unbalanced right. Let's see if M.U.S. adjusts to it. Right now they're heading.
Beautiful play by M.U.S., Coach.
Good play by the tackle. He really slanted in.
Number 67 made that tackle.
That was Cantu, Gary.
I believe that's Bob Uwin.
He was someone who made the stop.
With a nice stop.
In the first quarter, Forest Neighbors carried the ball 2 times for 55 yards. Cantu carried it 5 times for 26 yards. We've seen a lot of variety in who's been carrying the ball. 3 people for Germantown have carried it.
That tackle moves the Red Devils all the way back to the 8-yard line. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go for the TD. This should be an interesting play, Coach.
Probably a power play. Nope, that's your option on the outside.
Cantu fumbles out of bounds.
Cantu, Gary, stop by McCarroll.
McCarroll made that tackle.
It'll be third and goal.
David, you saw the quickness on M.U.S. on their outside people. They contained that play very well.
Tell you what we did, David. We lined up in a power eye, and basically when we get in a power eye, we've been running off tackle. We deceived them a little bit. We ran the option out of it. But like you said, M.U.S. reacted very well to it.
It'll be third down, 4 yards to go for the touchdown. A very important play. Straight up the middle, George Cantu did not get the touchdown.
He's close.
Stacked up well for the Red Devils. M.U.S., I believe, the ball on about the 1-yard line, Coach.
It's going to be 4th and goal. Ball is bucked to the 3-yard line.
On the 3-yard
line.
Germantown's going to go for it, David. This may be a very crucial play in the game.
As we see the ball right there, I believe it's about 2 to 3 yards from the goal line, Coach.
I think Bobby Wade is down. I don't think he's hurt. I think he's just got equipment repair down there. Yeah, he's getting up.
Yeah, he's ready to go. See a close-up. It's 4th down, Coach. A very big play. Go 4th down, goal to go for the Red Devils. 3 yards to pay dirt. A very big play in the ball game. Neighbors to George Cantu. I don't believe he got it.
No, M.U.S. stopped him.
After a 93-yard drive, Germantown is denied the touchdown.
No, it's M.U.S. held and takes over. 1st and 10, M.U.S. ball on their own 1.
That's still a good drive, David. You go 97, 95 yards. I know we wanted to score, but that's a good drive.
M.U.S. is way back in Germantown territory on about the 1-yard line.
Much like when Germantown got the ball, they were on their own 3-yard line. They went about 96 yards but didn't make it.
It shows you the determination of M.U.S. A very good defensive play. Germantown with an excellent defensive play. There was no yardage gained on that play.
They snuffed it right on line of scrimmage. Good reaction by your linebackers and your nose man.
If they can stop MUS and force them to punt, Germantown will come up with good field position.
See Elliott Watts.
He receives the signals from defensive coordinator Leland Smith.
The ball really close to the goal line, about a yard away from the goal line. Beautiful play by the Red Devils.
I took a lot of nerve to run the option down there in the end zone. If he hadn't made it out, we'd have either had a fumble or a safety, maybe a touchdown.
Marshall Boswell made the tackle for Germantown along with Mark Bowen.
Superb hitting by Boswell and Bowen.
Don't be surprised if MUS make quick kick out of this, David.
It's going to be third.
The Devils should come out of this in excellent field position.
Sure should. Ought to get around the 40-yard line.
See if MUS does quick kick. They're on about the 3-yard line. Third down.
They've got their lightning quick tailback Jay Steed in the ball game. It's the first time he's been in the game on an offensive series.
Indeed, Malamo goes to about the 8-yard line. He does not pick up the first down. MUS will be forced to punt.
Malamo carrying.
Number 72, Gerald Kirkpatrick on the tackle.
Thomas and Watts.
As you see Coach Ken Netherland in the Germantown sidelines. Number 11, Craig Thomas will be back to receive the punt from MUS.
Good snap. Nice shoestring tackle.
Good coverage by number 88. Craig almost made it to the wall.
Rob Stumner made the tackle for MUS.
The Devils pick up in very good field position as we see the bench. Coach, they really do need to score on this drive.
Yeah, we just take our time, react positively. We'll be in good shape.
There's 8:18 left in the first half.
32.5.
Ball on the 33-yard line. First down for the Red Devils. Straight up the middle by George Cantu.
Nice gain. He picked up about 3 or 4 yards on that carry, David.
Cantu carrying. Steve making the stop.
Make that about 5 or 6 yards.
And Carroll was also there.
Number 22, Jay Steed, was in on that tackle.
Second and 5.
He's second down, 5 yards to go for the Red Devils.
Germantown has the ball on the MUS 28-yard line.
Cantu again, and I believe he picks up the first down. It'll be very close.
Yes, David, it is going to be very close.
He did pick up the first down.
Picked up by Phillips. After picking up the first down.
Parker Phillips made the tackle.
First and 10, Red Devils. Ball just outside the MUS 20.
As the Red Devils break huddle, it'll be first down on the 20-yard line, 21-yard line, excuse me.
David, we got an unbalanced left now. The last 2 times unbalanced right. That was unbalanced left, and then we went back to the weak side with the counter.
Moss carrying. Stop by Steed.
Howard Moss picks up about 3 yards.
Second and 8.
Jay Steed made the tackle again for MUS. That's his second unassisted tackle.
It'll be second down and 7 yards to go. You see Bon Tubbs bringing into play. Red Devils, 7 yards to go. The option play again, and Forrest cuts back. He's still on his feet and finally hauled down shy of the 10-yard line.
It's a good run.
Andy McCarroll made the tackle. As you see, Forrest. Forrest is a 6'1", 180-pound senior quarterback. He also plays free safety, some on defense.
The play comes in by George Cantu. There's Jody Whitfield. He's our center, playing a superb ball game, as he always does. He's a junior for the Red Devils.
He'll be back next year, an added plus.
There's Howard Moss. I believe he might have the TD. Touchdown, Red Devils. Beautiful run by Howard Moss.
That's good blocking by Elliott Watts and George Cantu. Right on the corner. Howard took that toss and Ian worked outside. He cut right back inside. Good cut.
Something that Germantown needed was to get that 6 points on the board.
Beautiful run by Howard Moss. Cuts it right up, back up through the middle.
Let's see if Witt cannot add the extra point. He is like 13 for 13 in extra points this year.
The extra point is good, and the Red Devils have a 7-0 lead.
Weak side.
For our viewers, what is exactly an unbalanced line, Coach?
That's you either move a tackle or an end over to one side. In that case, we're moving the left end over to the right or the right end over to the left.
All right, Coach. Witt set to kick. Nice high kick. Filled it on a... Oh, it's fumbled. Coach, what is exactly the ruling on that play?
If the ball crosses the goal line and it's not touched, then it's brought out to the 20-yard line. That's what happened in. Neither receiver, they got mixed up on who was going to catch it, and neither one of them caught it. Rolled right in the end zone.
We see a close-up of Eric Steele. Big young man, goes about 270 pounds, Eric.
Yeah, he's a very talented athlete. M.U.S. will have the ball, 1st down and 10 on the Germantown, on their own 20-yard line with 6:48 left in the second quarter.
Here come the M.U.S. Owls on the 20-yard line, 1st down, 10 to go.
McCarroll and Wade are in their backfield.
Power eye situation. Pitch to McCarroll on the end.
Good containment, good reaction.
About a 3-yard gain, I believe, Coach. The Red Devils had 3 players right out there and contained the play.
Marshall Boswell, your player of the week, made a good play.
Elliott Watts was helping him, the captain for Germantown, on defense, receives defensive signals.
Boswell does not exactly have the great size, but he does have the speed, quickness, and very smart player.
That's right, that's right.
Very
He's
determined.
coachable, too. That means a lot, too.
Right. Very determined young man.
He's 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Ball on the 23-yard line. Beautiful tackle.
Tom Pruitt, good
Beautiful play by Tom Pruitt. He's another junior for the Red Devils, so he will be back next year, Eric. I believe it was a loss of about a yard. He's 3rd down, 8 yards to go.
Exactly, David.
About 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. Red Devils defense is playing very well now.
See if we cannot stop them here, get the punt, and get good field position.
Sprint draw by M.U.S. and Andy McCarroll has the 1st down. Good play by M.U.S. Coach.
That's a good call. He got the 1st down. I tell you what, I didn't expect them to run it. That's almost too far to run the sprint draw, but they made a good play out of it and executed very well.
Marshall Boswell again made a tackle for Germantown. He continues to be very impressive on the defensive end.
See the band getting ready for their halftime performance. Will be 1st down, the ball on about the 33-yard line. M.U.S. has possession. Quick pitch by Malmo. I believe he might have the 1st down again, Coach. Andy McCarroll is very impressive.
Tell you what, for big boy, he turned the speed on then on the corner.
89 Bond Tubbs made the tackle.
It'll be 1st down and 10 for M.U.S. They're moving the ball again very effectively against the Germantown defense, much like they did on their first offensive series.
1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 44-yard line. 1st down, 10 to go. Draw again to McCarroll. Time for about 2 yards.
Marshall Boswell and Jay Duggins both made a good play then. Jay kind of forced him back inside. Marshall came up and put the clincher on him.
Good play for the Red Devils defense. They need to try to get possession of the ball back. See what they can do with it.
Right.
Straight drop back. Overthrown by Malmo.
Malmo's pass intended for Sumner goes incomplete. Be 3rd and 9.
See a close-up of D.D. Malmo, junior for M.U.S.
He's 5'8", 145 pounds.
Having a little trouble passing tonight, Coach.
All right, his height is a little disadvantage, but I tell you, that kid's an athlete. I watched him all the way from the 8th grade, and he's matured into a very good athlete, good quarterback, and he's well coached.
M.U.S. set, 3rd down. About 9 yards to go.
They got a pro
Very big
left.
play. Straight drop back. Good
They got
defensive
him.
play by the Red Devil.
Good
Marshall
rush.
Boswell again.
Marshall playing a superb ball game. You see big number Eric Steele.
Looks like he might be limping a little bit, David. He's all right.
And still.
Looked like they were trying to set up a screen, but we got such quick penetration. Malmo never did get set. Pick his receivers out. Therefore, it was nullified.
As you saw the speed of Eric Steele on that play. Very good speed. I believe he runs a 5.140. Very fast for a man that size. Punt to about the 38-yard line, and the Red Devils will take possession. 1st down, 10 to go.
Let's see if we can't get our 2-minute offense cranked up here, David, and get in there and get us 7 or 3 before the half.
There is 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. Red Devils need to have a good drive here.
That's right. Let's go up in the locker room 14-0.
See what the Red Devils want to do. They want to try to stay away from the turnover at this point in the ball game.
That's right.
See the official signaling 1st down for the Red Devils. Red Devils 1st down, 10 to go. Neighbors over Jody Whitfield.
Running out of the power wishbone.
The pass by Neighbors. Overthrows his receiver. Tough play.
Intended receiver was Bob Jicks. He got some tough pressure from the M.U.S. interior defensive line.
For Jiggs goes incomplete.
Slightly overthrown by Forrest. You see 89 Bond Tubbs coming in with the play. Do you believe they'll pass again, Coach?
I believe they will, David. Even if we don't get a 1st down and we're forced to punt, we're still in pretty good shape.
2nd down, 10 to go after that incomplete pass by Forrest. Believe it's a draw.
That was a draw to Howard Moss.
M.U.S. plays it very well. Good defensive play.
James Carter made the tackle for M.U.S. 5'10", 187 pounds. Made a nice play on that, David.
Still about 10.
M.U.S. closed the hole very quickly.
They did. These two teams all look like they got the same offensive plan, don't they, David? Sprint draw, throw when they have to, rely on the running game, try to keep it balanced up with the passing attack.
Clock running, about 2 minutes left. Forrest Neighbors on the option. Tough hitting as you see there on your
Good
screen.
hit, yeah, good run too. Now they took away the pitch. Forrest just tucked it under, turned it upfield.
Coach, we'll just have to see what the Red Devils do. It's about 4th down, 2 yards to go. I believe they'll punt.
Senior Buzz Walker is in the punt for Germantown. He's averaging 37.2 yards a punt.
Buzz, a superb punter, as you see there. Beautiful kick. A devastating hit.
Howard Moss.
A superb hit. I do not see how he held on with that ball.
He welcomed D.D. Malmo to Red Devil Stadium on that one.
He had a full head of steam, headed right down there and popped him.
I believe Malmo feel that hit for a long time.
But it was him and not me.
That's when it's great to be up here on top of the booth.
That's right, David.
That's right.
Be first down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 10-yard line. The Devils would love to have a turnover at this point.
Go in the locker room. Go ahead, David.
Time is running out. About a minute left. Devils with a good defensive play.
Malamo slipped on that. It looked like they might be running the option.
Timeout by the Red Devils. Paul West calls it.
Great turn. Start was made by Thomas, Gator Thomas.
Coach, what are some of your views on the first half?
It'll be second.
Tell you, like I said before, I believe Coach Rudolph and Coach Nelson probably got the same game plan. They both look like they want to try to establish the run, but they've got the good passing attack to go with it, along with the sprint draw to try to keep your linebackers controlled inside.
As we see Coach Netherland with Coach Dukes and Coach White.
It's a little chilly out here, as you can see, David. All three of the Germantown coaching staff do have sweaters on.
After that hit by Moss, it will not be chilly much longer.
And the M.U.S. quarterback's warm right now.
I'm sure Moss is too after that hit.
Probably M.U.S. will just try to hold on to it for the half, not get a turnover and run the clock out.
The Red Devils would like to force a punt and get the ball back, maybe for a last-ditch effort for a score.
4-1-3-4.
You see Paul West, number 17, a superb cornerback for the Red Devils. Also doubles as quarterback. He's behind Forrest Neighbors in the rotation.
But like you said, David, he's an excellent cornerback.
Be second down, 9 yards to go for M.U.S. Another hit by Howard Moss.
He's hitting hard tonight. That's something that the college coaches are looking for, a good defensive back that's not afraid to hit. Number 22, Jay Steed, carried the ball for M.U.S. That's only his second carry in tonight's game. He gained 119 yards last week.
Another timeout by the Red Devils. They're going to try to get the ball back, Coach.
All right, I'm not sure if we got another timeout left or not. I believe we do. And if we take a timeout at this play, force them to punt, we got a chance of getting a punt return, maybe breaking it all the way.
3, 4.
There's 30 seconds left in the first half.
I'm sorry, David, I didn't hear you.
There's 30 seconds left in the first half. You see the official. M.U.S. offense, getting a water break. Do you believe M.U.S. will try anything fancy here?
I don't believe they will. I believe they just want to try to run the clock out, going at halftime, get a breather, get reorganized, playing what they want to do the second half.
Right. So we're right in the interior line of both teams. Good play by the Devils, and they will regain possession. Another quick timeout, and the Devils will get the punt, Coach.
With about 25 seconds left, David. Tell you what, if they punt it, we can't get a good return. I know the person returning the punt, Craig Hallman or Craig Thomas, been instructed to get out of bounds, stop that clock, so we get at least one, maybe two plays off.
Right.
Tommy Pruitt made a nice tackle on that play, stopping M.U.S. for a loss.
What will be the Devils coach's philosophy when they get the ball, Coach? Will they try to get in field goal range or try to get the touchdown?
Well, you can play a short field and try to get down about the 15 or the 10 or the 20 and then let Michael Witt try to punch it in with a field goal. But I'm going to guess they're going to try to go for one long pass play or a pass play to try to get 6 if they can.
Annie Jenkins, Nancy Coleman, Laura Skeen, last but not least, Pam Howell. These girls work real hard. Give them a big hand, folks.
Here goes M.U.S.
It's a
fumble
bad
punt, Coach. He gets the ball out. It's about the 40-yard line. Tough break for the Red Devils, Coach.
I thought we had him.
Could have been a big play.
The boy made a good effort getting that ball out. He didn't want to kick it long, just get it off and get away from that goal line.
First and 10 Red Devils with 15 seconds left on the clock.
We really didn't even have the rush on. That was just a bad snap. And, you know, we were fortunate we were down there. We almost got a big turnover and easy 6.
15 seconds left, ball on the 40-yard line. The Devils break huddle.
Time possibly for maybe 2 plays. They're showing all paths. They only have one person in the backfield. That's Howard Moss. 3 people out wide.
Believe
right.
this might be the Big Ben play,
The
Coach.
Big Ben of the Hail Mary one. We got 3 receivers on the right.
It worked a couple of years ago for Germantown.
Let her go.
Hail Mary pass, he's open and
Touchdown.
Got it.
Touchdown for the Red Devils. Beautiful play. Superb play by the Red Devils, and they are up 13-0 as the Devils go ecstatic.
Number 87, Bob Jicks. That's his 2nd touchdown catch of the year, David. A big play.
For the score,
I believe it was to Gary Brown.
0.
See who that receiver was. I believe it was number 82.
I believe it was Gary Brown who made that reception.
Superb play by the Red Devils.
That's the value of saving your timeouts, David. If we hadn't had those 3, we wouldn't have gotten the ball back with a chance to do that.
Penalty flags go down. Might be delay of game.
Head ball violation.
Encroachment.
Against the
M.U.S. refused.
All right. It was encroachment by M.U.S. You see the scoreboard, 13-0 Red Devils.
The kick is wide. A camera back has fallen through the stands that approximately underneath the press box. If anybody finds it, please bring it to the press box.
Coach, the kick was missed. That's the first one Witt has missed.
Tell you what, see, we had a penalty against M.U.S. That moved the ball 1.5 yards closer. Sometimes that works as a psychological disadvantage to that kicker. He's closer now, and actually, I think he would probably prefer being a little further back than right up under the goalpost.
See Elliott Watt.
There's
And
quarterback.
Forrest Neighbor.
Thank you, David.
Forrest Neighbor's really excited with that pass.
Tell you, Forrest deserves a lot of credit. They had a rush on him. Boy reached up and grabbed him about the shoulder pass. He shook him off, went forward about 5 yards, got the pass off to Gary Brown in the end zone. I tell you, David, that's when you get frustrated as a coach.
Right.
You know what they're going to do, and your kids should be ready, and then they get one
Still
on you
can't
like
stop
that.
them.
That's Witt.
Line drive kick by Witt. Another hit by 83, Bo Manus.
Bo's doing a good job on the special teams this year.
Kick was returned.
I believe M.U.S. will be content with just letting the clock run out.
That's right.
We have 3 seconds left before halftime.
Minutes. 1st and 10. As the quarter ends.
And time runs out. The Red Devils have a 13-0 lead.
0. Germantown 13.
Good first half of football, Coach.
Sure was, David. I tell you what, not just because I'm from Germantown, but our kids put some knots on them that first half. If they aren't careful, M.U.S. about to regroup fast because we fixed to get after them real good second half.
A lot of hard hitting on both sides of the ball.
Sure was.
Score at halftime is 13-0 as the Germantown band prepares for their halftime entertainment. Let's go down to the field to watch the Germantown High School marching band.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight for your halftime entertainment, Germantown High School proudly presents, under the direction of Mr. Sam Shaw and drum major Kelly Jones, the Germantown Red Devil Band. The band is presenting the first 4 parts of our 5-part contest show and will be performing Memory from the Broadway production of Cats, march to Broadway, and my favorite things from the Broadway production, Sound of Music. Ladies and gentlemen, the Germantown Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Sam Shaw.
Tripper, you stay right here.
And Coach, what would you tell, if you were the MUS coach, what would you tell your players at this point?
I tell you, I don't think Coach Rudolph is going to change his game plan that much. If he gets behind another touchdown, he probably will have to go to a hurry-up type offense. But for right now, I believe he's just going to tell his kids to go back, start just like they did at the beginning of the ball game. If they can get a good drive going and score, you know, they're right back in it. With just 13 points down, they get another one to get the extra points, then they're ahead. Of course, our thinking is we aren't going to allow them to do that, though.
MUS came right out and had a very good drive off that fumble the first couple of plays, and then moved the ball on the Red Devils, and we're knocking on the doorstep of scoring, Eric.
That's right. MUS looks very impressive with their first couple of offensive series, but Germantown's defense was able to come out and stop them. If I was Coach Smith, the defensive coordinator, I'd be very pleased with the way his defense has been playing and is playing tonight.
MUS got right down to the goal line, Coach, and then they tightened down, and Germantown stopped them.
Yeah, good defense on our part.
Had to be a real big play for the morale of the defense in a whole.
Yeah, plus, you know, that works both ways. The defense held them. The offense went out instead of just running 3 plays and having a punt. We drove the ball 90, I believe about 95 or 94 yards, and we didn't score, but we ate up a lot of times and put MUS in the hole. I think eventually we got a break, short punt, took it in the next time and scored.
It was a very time-consuming first quarter. It flew by just because Germantown controlled the offensive line. They went straight up the middle. I do not believe they passed the whole drive. Like you said, it was about a 95-yard drive. Very impressive. They just didn't score. I thought the offense might be a little bit down. They came right back and another score was on.
That's right. I tell you, to me, that goes back to the quality players we got. You know, some kids that were a little younger, not as much quality as our kids having to carry. They got discouraged because they went that far and didn't score. They knew the defense would get the ball back a couple of minutes, and then they put it in the next time.
Right. Devils offense led by Forrest Neighbors with 2 big runs, Eric.
That's right. He's carried the ball 4 times for 66 yards. A brief scoring recap. Howard Moss had a 12-yard run. Mike Witt added the extra point. Then at the end of the second quarter, Gary Brown caught a touchdown pass from Forrest Neighbors. Witt missed the pad attempt. Germantown went into the locker room with a 13-0 lead.
Coach, the Red Devils coaches have to be pleased to an extent. They want to come back out, though. I believe they will receive the opening kickoff in the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's right. Of course, what we want to do is have another drive, just like we did the first time, except culminate it with a touchdown.
Coach, I believe the Devils have found a weakness in the MUS defense, and that might be the ends for MUS. If we remember, Neighbors with 2 really big runs in that opening drive for the Red Devils, going around the end, practically untouched.
Yeah, I tell you, I think you've got the point well defined there, David. The end play by MUS has appeared to be a little weak. 2 things. We've been able to run the toss, sweep, or pitch out of it. The end works upfield, which he's coached to do, but our interior linemen are cutting off the linebacker and the tackle. He can't get that support, and there's an alley I've seen there. Plus, the option's working well. I think MUS's game plan is to keep the ball out of, into, and Howard Moss's hands on the option. Force Forrest to run it, but he's a good runner, and he's eating them up on the option.
That's exactly what he did. Superb running by Forrest Neighbors. In those runs, you saw how strong Forrest Neighbors was. He weighs about 185 pounds. A very tough running back just from that standpoint. He can be a running back. Very smart player, superb runner.
That's right. He's deceiving. I've said that before, but Forrest is so smooth, it doesn't look like he's running very fast. With those long legs, he's covering a lot of ground, a lot of territory.
Right. If you were the coach, Eric, into the halftime talking to the Red Devils right now, what would you tell them?
Say the same thing that I would have been telling them when I started this game. You're 3-0. Why change anything? They're up 13-0. I'd tell my boys to keep playing hard, keep digging, keep fighting, and you walk away with a victory.
And that's exactly what they're doing right now, running straight up the middle, going to the ends like we said, and the Devils really look unstoppable on offense right now.
They're playing well, David.
This past week we had a chance to talk to Coach Harrison. He's the new coach at the Red Devils, and I believe, no, that's Coach Smith interview. So let's go look at what Coach Smith has to say about the Red Devils.
Behind every exceptional football team, there is an outstanding staff of coaches. Germantown High School is certainly no exception. Among the excellent coaches is the defensive coordinator, Leland Smith. Coach Smith has been with the Red Devils for 9 years. We had a chance to talk to Coach Smith about this year's defensive team. Do you feel there's an experienced defensive lineup this year?
We have a good bit of experience this year. We have 4 starters back, and then plus the 4 starters, all of our other defensive people played extensively last year in the JV program.
How does the experience in the defense differ from last year?
Well, I would say probably that one of the main differences in this year's defense is that we're more team-oriented. We really, with the possible exception of Mark Bowen, don't have the super athlete on defense, but that we've got 11 individuals that have worked hard to become a team and have molded into a unit and done very well so far.
I've noticed more team spirit this year. Do you feel this has more to do with senior leadership, coaching ability, or do you think it's a combination of the two?
No, I think it's more the players than it is the coaches. I think it's hard. That's one of the things that's really hard for a coach to instill into the team, and so that's a result of senior leadership.
Do you think that Germantown has a good chance for the state title this year?
I never worry about the state title. That's the last thing on my mind, and I try to convince my players that if they'll worry about each game week by week, that the state playoffs take care of themselves. That's one of those things that it does no good to worry about what everybody else is going to do or what's going to happen at the end of the year. So we take each game 1 week at a time, and the state playoffs will take care of themselves.
Good luck to the Devils in their 1983 campaign.
We're back live at Red Devil Field, and I believe we have an interview with Danny McClary and Coach Graves, the offensive coordinator for the Red Devils. So let's go down there with Coach Graves and Danny McClary.
There we go. I'm here on this first chilly night of the season with Rocky Graves, offensive back coach for the Germantown Red Devils. Coach, real quick, what was your opinion of the first half?
Well, I thought we were too tight emotionally. We were really tense, and we missed one scoring opportunity, and then we had a couple of missed assignments due to probably excess emotion. We probably need to calm down, just execute our assignments a little bit better in the second half.
I noticed right off the bat that Chris Coffidge was on the sideline and not dressed out.
Chris's injury was more serious than we thought at first, and he's going to be held out this week, and we certainly hope that he'll be back next week.
All right, I noticed that you've been giving the ball to Forrest Neighbors a little bit more tonight. George Cantu and Howard have been running the ball, but he's really turned in some nice plays the quarterback has.
Well, like I told you last week and the week before, we don't give the ball to anybody. The defense dictates who can take the ball. Tonight, their defense and the blocking pattern we're using is allowing our quarterback to carry the ball a little bit more than usual. You know, we don't have any particular preference as to which back carries the ball. What we want to do is get the ball to the open man and take advantage of the weaknesses of the defense.
So what are you and the coaches looking for in this second half?
We've got the ball first. We want to come out and establish tempo, and we want to be as physical as possible. We feel like we're a little bit bigger than they are and maybe a little bit more physically stronger, and maybe we can establish a good physical tempo in the second half and maybe convert that into some points.
Okay, the team's coming on in the field right now. Coach, thanks a lot and good luck in the second half. Let's go back up to David. I'm a little cold right now. This is Danny McClary for GHS-TV.
We'll be playing Mrs. Prep.
Coach Graves did comment on how he did squander that first offensive opportunity, but the Devils did come back and score.
That's true. That's right. Of course, you want to get that first one in if you possibly can. We didn't, but like I say, defense held them. We got the ball back within a couple of minutes, then we took it in from there.
All right, both teams are on the field, so let's go down for the opening kickoff of the second half. Germantown is ahead 13-0. Should be a very exciting second half. Germantown will receive the kick.
I noticed something, David. When Germantown came out of the locker room, they started stretching out again, stretching out that hamstring muscle, make sure that they don't have any tight muscles. It's kind of cool, about 50 degrees. We'd hate to see Germantown lose one of their key starters due to an injury.
We're set to go, Red Devil Field. Getting a little bit cooler, Coach.
Yep, it's dropped a few degrees since we started.
I agree with you,
I tell you, they don't feel it on the field, though. Like Coach Graves said, we're emotionally high for this game.
Kickoff by M.U.S.
Craig Thomas receives it on about his 20-yard line.
Nice run up to about the 30-yard line. You see George Cantu coming off the field.
That's J.O. Kilpatrick, David.
Ball down 32.
On the Red Devil sideline, it will be first down, 10 yards to go. Straight up the middle goes Buzz Wathoff for his first carry of the game. Believe he might have a first down.
We caught them a little surprise in, David. We ran in a preset. Our linemen were up. We snapped the ball when they all got still, popped it right up the middle, caught them a little by surprise.
It'll be second down, I believe, or they will measure. Should be very close.
Andy McCarroll made the stop for MUS on that play, David. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. You probably see him on the offensive running the ball for MUS. Very explosive runner. You see the Germantown offensive team, number 14, Buzz Wathoff.
You can get over and get a shot of the ball and just see how close it is.
A little short, David.
Looks like second and very short.
What you call a free down, David. We got a chance to go for all the marbles on this one and still come back third down and get that first down.
I would really expect to see a pass in this position.
Well, let's see. You and I say we're going to pass. What does Eric say?
Well, I'll say pass. Number 17, Paul West, just checked in the game. He's a swing back. I would be looking pass, too.
We'll either get a hit or both of us, all three of us strike out.
We either look smart or dumb, all three of us, and I believe...
We struck out.
Yep.
He got the first down, though.
All right.
We tried.
We might do better next time. It is first down for the Red Devils, I do believe, and the official does signal first down. So the Red Devils have come out, the first two plays, picked up a first down.
Picking up the first down.
Craig Witt made the tackle for MUS, 6'4", 213 pounds.
See Coach Harrison on the sidelines.
His offensive line has been doing a good job for Germantown in the last 3 games.
Straight up the middle, and Buzz Wathaw is stacked up very nicely by the MUS defense.
May have got to the original line of scrimmage, David.
Not very much yardage right in the heart of the MUS defense.
I tell you, that was a little deception play. We had an unbalanced line to the right. All the backs went to the right, and we just kind of slipped the ball up to Buzz up the middle, hoping the linebackers would react to the flow. They stayed at home. They made a good play out of it.
Will be second down, 9 to go for the Red Devils. Another option play by Forrest, and he's got another good game, Coach.
Now, see, David, that's the counterpart to the one we just lost. Now, see, the play before that, Buzz went inside. We gave it to him. This time, what we did, Buzz went the same way. We faked it. Forrest burst out, came down with the option. He picked up about 9 yards.
Good game by Forrest. Be third down, 1 yard to go. Ball on MUS's 48-yard line.
Malamo made the stop on Forrest. The 2 quarterbacks in the game.
MUS stacking the line up. George Cantu breaks through for the first down inside the 40-yard line.
Germantown's doing very good on their first offensive possession of the second half.
Stop was made by Early.
George Early made the stop for MUS.
The ball is square on the 40-yard line. First down and 10 for the Red Devils. Coach, a very important drive for the Red Devils.
I tell you, I'm speaking a little ahead, but I tell you, if MUS doesn't stop us now, we'll completely wear them down, I'm afraid, by the fourth quarter.
There's the end open again, and beautiful run by Howard Moss. He's still on his feet for about a 22-yard gain. An excellent run by Howard Moss.
On that, you saw 2 things that Howard could do. He has good speed. He broke the tackles. Then you see his ability and his strength.
There's Howard right there in your screen.
Tell you, he's a slashing type runner, David and Eric. He hurts you when he runs.
James Hutchinson made the stop for MUS.
As you saw, it took 2 or 3 players to bring Howard down.
That's right. And that's how he scored that first touchdown. He broke 2 or 3 tackles.
The ball inside the 20-yard line. George Cantu cuts it right up.
He may have fumbled it.
I believe there might be a fumble. I really believe the whistle sounded before the fumble.
I believe he was down, that's right. Technically, if he hits the ground and hadn't fumbled the ball, he's down.
Jay Steed made the stop for MUS.
It's about a 3-yard gain.
Second down and 7 for Germantown. Threatening to score once again.
Another option play by Forrest Neighbors. Beautiful pitch to George Cantu.
That's coolness under pressure right there, David.
There were white shirts all over the place, and the Devils still managed to get about 5 to 6 yards.
As you see, George Cantu
It was
It'll be first and
It was
goal.
more than 5 yards because they got the first down, I believe.
Ball at the
See where they marked the ball.
MUS
It's on the 7-yard line, I'm sorry.
It will be first down and 7 yards to go for the touchdown. A very impressive drive by the Red Devils. M.U.S. stacks it up well. About a 1-yard gain.
Cantu carrying.
George Cantu on the carry.
By Michael White. Guess that's Mike Ewing, I guess.
This key coach Leland Smith on the sideline in his familiar short pants. But a great story that people like to tell. Red Devils went to Oak Ridge for the state championship. About 28 degrees, and Coach Smith was out in his short pants. A very enthusiastic coach for the Red Devils. As they're stacked up again on the offensive line. It's Cantu running that ball.
Cantu carrying. Summer.
In the first half, Cantu carried the ball 12 times for 41 yards.
Number 74, Owen Tabor, was in on that tackle. It will be third down and goal to go on about the 5-yard line. Tough play for the Red Devils.
Score. Third and goal.
Coach, do you expect a pass on this play or the option again?
I believe the option again on the left side.
Exactly right. Forrest out there again.
He's a little short. Look like about the 3 or 4 yard line.
Coach, what would you do? Would you go for the 3 points, or, well, they are going for the 3 points.
I'm a cheat, yeah. I see Michael Witt coming on. We're going for 3.
I believe a good call by the...
You see what you're doing now. We get this one, I'll be 16-0. They'll have to score 2 touchdowns and go for 2 each time and make it just a tie.
Exactly. Mike Witt for the field goal. And it is good.
Field goal is good.
The Red Devils go up 16-0.
MUS 0, Germantown 16.
Even though Germantown's offense did not score 7 points on that offensive series, at least we walk away with 3. As you see center Jody Whitfield and some of the Germantown players.
Really a tired young man already.
Very
Working
good athlete.
real hard.
Yes,
Jody's
David.
a good boy, good athlete, good student too.
See Jay?
Senior Jay Duggins. Big returning letterman. George Cantu. And big 77 Mark Bowen.
And Carroll are deep for M.U.S.
Witt will kick it off from the 40-yard line.
Nice kick by Michael.
Nice and
Kick
high.
by McCarroll.
Nice tackle ball by number 34, Mike O'Neill, tripped him up.
O'Neill making the initial hit. First and 10. Owls, ball at their own 28.
Ball's at the 28-yard line. First down and 10 to go for the M.U.S. Owls. Big defensive series for the Red Devils. There's 6:02 left in the third quarter. And M.U.S. has it first down. Good play by the Red Devils. I believe it's Andy McCarroll for about 5 yards. Nice run by the M.U.S. running back.
Gerald Kilpatrick made the stop for Germantown.
I'm really impressed by this number 36, Andy McCarroll.
Just a sophomore, he's a good-looking athlete, isn't he?
He's 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighs 200 pounds. He probably will put on 20 pounds before he graduates, Coach.
Let's hope he doesn't put on 20 muscles. Tell you, his brother's a good athlete. He's up at Vanderbilt now playing for the Commodores.
That's where Jeff McFerrin's playing, a graduate from Germantown.
Option by Malmo.
Malmo may have gotten hurt then.
He's
Looks
still
like he may
down.
have a Charlie horse in that thigh.
And he gets up. I believe they might take him out for one play, Coach.
Tell you what, if they take a time out for that injury, he's got to go out.
For at least one play.
That's right.
It'll be third down, about 2 yards to go. Still tending to their quarterback.
M.U.S. feels they have a very talented second quarterback by the name of Andy Wright. He's 5'9", 161 pounds. He gave Malamo some competition this year before the season started for the #1 starting quarterback.
They are taking him out, Coach.
Now this seems like a little thing, but now you got a quarterback coming in. His hands may be cold.
Right.
They could have a fumble right here.
He's not accustomed to getting the snap from center.
That's true.
Required to leave the field for at least one play.
Big third down play for MUS. I believe he might have struggled for the first down. A lot of determination in that run.
It's going to be close.
I believe that was number 31, Bobby Wade. It is going to be very close.
Wade carrying.
Tom Pruitt made the tackle for Germantown. He's 5'11", 195 pound tackle.
it's not that
He
much,
is a
though.
junior this year. He'll be returning.
Yeah.
Should be very close. I believe they had the first down.
By about a ball length, David.
Number 14, Andy Wright, is the new quarterback for MUS. I believe he
All right,
will
ready?
stay in this series of downs. He's 5'9", 161 pounds.
MUS has two people wide out to both sides. May look for pass here. He slips.
Quarterback stumbles down for a loss of about 5 yards.
That was Wright stepping up as he came out from the center.
Coach Wright is a 10th grader. Is that a little, shows a little inexperience?
I really don't know. If he's a 10th grader, he probably played for that 9th grade last year, and which gave him good experience, but you know, I'm not that familiar with that personnel. I know Didi Malmo pretty well, but Andy Wright, I'm just not that familiar with him. I don't know how much experience he's had playing this year.
See, Germantown sideline. Back on the field. Will be second down, about 15 yards to go for MUS. Wright drives back. A bullet pass, and the Devils defense covers that play really well.
Howard Moss on the stop. Nice tackle, nice pursuit. Read the play well.
Moss just seems to be all over the field every ball game, Coach.
He's a two-way player.
It's going to be third and along 11.
Forrest Neighbors, George Cantu, and Michael Witt.
Talking over the offensive strategy for the next series of downs. See an inside view of the line. That's where the game's won or lost. And number 14's back in the pocket. Good
Nice pass. David Disney made the reception. He's 5'9", 156
That's
pounds.
a good reception. Good turn in. Deep turn in by the wideout.
Good play by MUS.
Paul West was in on that
Right
tackle.
pass complete. I believe that was to Disney.
I was impressed the way the quarterback Wright stood in there. He had a couple people hanging on him, and he still got the ball way under pressure.
First and 10 for Dallas.
The first down, 10 yards to go for MUS.
Down 42 and a half.
They're moving the ball effectively against Germantown. Much like
See if we can hold him on this play. Sprint draw. Oh, nearly intercepted by Howard Moss.
he could have held on to that, we'd be up by 6 more points.
That's right. Howard Moss was gone on that play.
Almost intercepted by Moss. That make it 4th down and 7.
He read that real good, and he broke on the ball.
Super good play. Do you believe MUS might go for this, Coach?
Yeah, I don't think they got the kicker in. They're going for it. That position they're in now, they need to go ahead and try to get that first down.
Big play for MUS.
Run or pass, Coach?
4th down, 6. Believe we might see a pass and Wright drops back. He had a receiver open, Coach.
Hey, I don't know if he got bumped or somebody tipped it, but that ball looked like it was deflected a little bit. Good call, but a little bit overthrown.
Red Devils regain possession.
Number 81, John Dobbs, was the intended receiver. He's 5'11", 162 pounds.
There's 1:07 left in the 3rd quarter. Germantown regains possession. 1st down and 10 on the 24-yard line.
David, this is going to be a long 4th quarter because MUS will definitely go to the pass now to try to catch up.
Exactly. I suspect Germantown will stay with the run. See there, Howard Moss.
We need a good drive to eat some time off that clock, keep the ball out of MUS's offensive hands.
They have to be getting tired, David, because they're oversized by Germantown. Germantown has a lot bigger offensive line. Their defense has been out on the field most of the game and is very tired.
Exactly. They've been on a lot the second half already.
You can't win the game by having your defense out on the field.
Exactly. Howard Moss picks up a very tough 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. See Forrest over Jody Whitfield, the center for the Red Devils. Moss straight up the middle.
Tough yards.
I don't know if he crossed the 30-yard line or not. We just have to wait and see. I believe he did.
By a couple of inches, David.
Be 3rd down, 4 yards to go.
Hey, we've got 2 additional linemen in the game now. Adam Cecil is one, right guard. He's giving Mark Bowen a breather. And Tom Pruitt is at left tackle. He's giving Jay Duggins a breather.
As the quarter ends, we're going into the 4th quarter. Germantown has a 16-0 lead.
With a score.
You mentioned number 67, Adam Cecil. He's 6 feet, 219 pounds. He's a guard and a tackle. He's only 11th grade. He'll be returning for Germantown next year.
Coach, the Devils' defense has bent a lot tonight, but they have yet to break and keeping MUS scoreless, trying to go for their 3rd shutout of the season.
Right. That's our philosophy. Bend but don't break. The end result or the goal is don't let them score.
Germantown is up over MUS 16-0 in the 4th quarter.
At 7 o'clock, the junior varsity will play the...
You see Forrest bringing in the play?
On this field, 7 o'clock Monday night.
As you see, there has been a large crowd for tonight's ball game. The stands are packed. The MUS side is packed too.
Memphis Prep on this field at 7:30.
See a lot of red up there, don't you, David? Germantown red.
A lot of people enjoying high school football.
We'll play Tupelo before the freshman game.
Germantown cheerleaders going over instructions, and they're really excited
It will be
too.
played, I believe, at 7:30. And next Friday night, Germantown varsity will meet Pine Bluff on this field.
Cheerleaders always do an excellent job.
They're part of the program.
83, Bo Manus.
Gator Thomas in the background. Germantown ran 12 offensive plays in the 3rd quarter.
Howard Moss is going to be really close. I don't believe he picked up the 1st down. We'll just have to wait and see.
It may take a measurement. I'm not sure.
Initial hit was made by McCarroll.
It's 4th down. It's not 1st.
Andy McCarroll made that tackle.
Now, come here and look.
And it's 4th
See,
down and inches.
It's got to go inside that
I
mark
believe the
right
Red
there.
Devils are going for it, Coach. Now I see Buzz Wathall in there.
It's close.
Not a very good punt.
Buzz just hits it off the side of his foot, and the MUS player falls on it.
Ball's all stick.
Buzz has been averaging 37.2 yards a punt, David.
Very reliable punter. He just got it off the side of his foot that time.
M.U.S. 44, first and 10.
That's what they call a foul ball, David.
Defensive coordinator, Coach Leland Smith. Very classy gentleman.
Ball on the 44-yard line. First down, 10 to go. And Wright is not afraid to throw the ball. Incomplete pass, overthrows his receiver about 5 yards.
Wright's pass intended to Dobbs is long. His second and 10.
Coach, you were right. This fourth quarter will probably be very long.
Well, from M.U.S.'s standpoint, they've just about got to throw 2 out of 3 times, unless they can score real quick.
Key point, Coach. They need to score real quick. They need to get themselves back into this ball game.
Well, quick, you know, if they can get it, but they don't want to get too far of their game plan and just start throwing them up. We're going to get one of them. They keep throwing it up, you know, carelessly.
Right.
Right, Coach.
This new quarterback, Wright, is not afraid to throw the ball at all. Coach, that was nearly another interception.
Right. That was 2 deflections. One off of their boy and then one off our free safety, Brian Donnelly.
He looks to be a little bit limping. Hope he's all right. He's only a sophomore. He's a quarterback, the number 3 quarterback. We may see him in the future.
We will definitely see him in the future. Very good quarterback.
He's had 2 interceptions in earlier games.
Third and 10.
Eric Still for the sack. Good play by Eric. Just see the speed of this young man.
That's right. I think we got a boy down there.
I did catch his number.
Let's see if I can get him.
Snell says hello there.
I believe they're working on the knee. I hope it's nothing serious.
Still making the stop on right. It's going to be 4th, and it looks like it might be about just about 20.
I hope it's nothing serious. They've caught on team physician Dr. Bobo. Go out there and look at him.
On the field.
Red Devil player still down. Coach, I do not see number 77, Mark Bowen. I believe that might be the player down.
It is. The big man.
We have an instant replay. I believe this is the sack by Eric Still.
That's Mark Bowen shaking up on that play. Give him a hand, Coach.
Tim, come in with a good job.
His knee is hurting, David. He's limping a little bit.
It's hard to tell exactly what's wrong with him at this time. It looked like on the replay he may have gotten that knee hyperextended. He may have gotten a blow right as he planted his foot. That's hyperextended when the knee will go back the way it's not supposed to go.
Let's hope he's all right.
There's Mark right there. Back to action. Let the ball roll to about the 25-yard line.
Right stick is down. Looks like it might be about the Germantown 22 or 23. First and 10, Red Devils.
Be first down for the Red Devils.
Senior quarterback Forrest Neighbors. Calm, cool, and collected.
First down, 10 for the Red Devils. A fumble on the play, Coach, and I believe M.U.S. has the recovery.
M.U.S. recovered.
Key turnover.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the first and 10, ball is at Germantown 32.
Malmo made the recovery. He's back in at quarterback. Nope, number 14, Andy Wright comes in, excuse me.
As we've seen in the past, Andy Wright is not afraid of throwing the ball. Will be first down, 10 to go.
I believe Bob Dix is taking Mark Bowen's place at linebacker.
Straight up the middle is Bobby Wade. Will be real close to the first down.
Jake Rudolph, seasoned coach. David, Mark went out. You know where he ran the first play?
Yeah, straight up the middle.
Right where Mark would have been playing. That's a sign of a seasoned coach. He's going.
There's Mark on the sideline.
That's right. He's figuring the boy they replaced Mark with is no reflection on Bob, but they can hit him right at the inexperienced player.
That would be a very big loss for the Red Devils if they did lose Mark. Right drop straight back, little screen to the outside.
He's down on about the 6-7 yard line.
Bobby Wade with a good run. They ran that play to the other side in the first half, I believe.
What they did, they faked the screen on the right to the wide side and then came back to the short side, hit the little pop quick screen.
Number 83, Bo Manus, made the tackle after the first down.
First and goal. Ball approaching the 8 yard line. Red Devil 8.
Seems the momentum might be switching, David.
Right, M.U.S is down on the 8 yard line, first down. Pitch to Andy McCarroll.
Ooh, nice tackle.
Good hit.
Nice hit. Bo Manus, I believe, made that hit.
That's right. Bo Manus and Jay Duggins combined to make a good hit on him, Eric.
Good play by the Red Devils.
Duggins is in on the stop. Second and goal.
Alrighty, we've got a report on Mark Bowen. Says that he's hurt and he has an ice pack on his leg. He's very questionable for the rest of the game, David.
Good play by the defense.
Bob Jix, super play then. They had the option going outside, and Jix got him from behind.
Good play by Bob.
Jix says, I'll teach you to run up me on first play.
Third and goal.
Eric still checks in the game for Germantown.
I believe the ball's on the 9 yard line as we send number 50. I believe that's William Butler coming off the field.
It is, David.
As a reverse.
I believe the Devils defense have it covered fairly well. A host of Red Devils come in for the stop.
Big play.
Super play by the Devils, pushing them back about 10 yards.
It's going to be fourth down and long.
And Coach, that just shows the good coaching that the Red Devils do have.
That's right. Ian stayed at home, played it well, so did the corner.
Beautiful play by the Red Devils defense. It'll be fourth and goal to go. Ball on the 19 yard line. Beautiful hit.
Jay Duggins.
Great play by Jay.
Nice hit.
That's a big play there.
I believe this is the third down play. We'll see the excellent play by the whole Devil defense. M.U.S lined up. It'll be a sweep to the left and then a reverse back across the field. There it is.
Watch the excellent pursuit by the Germantown's defense.
And a host of Red Devils converge.
4 Red Devils around the ball.
Great play. We're back to live action. There's 6:03 left in the game. And Germantown gains about 3 yards on that first down play.
David Force, number 78, looks like he may be hurt. He's grabbing his right knee.
That's Jody Whitfield.
That's something Germantown does not need.
M.U.S also has a boy down too, man.
We hope neither of them are seriously injured. One of the Germantown players, Jody Whitfield, I did not catch the number of the MUS players. He gets up, we'll get it.
That's 57, I believe, David. He's up on his feet.
That's 67, Coach.
67, right.
That would be Bob Ewan. And Jody Whitfield also gets up to see Coach Netherland. That's two linemen in a row that have been hurt, Coach.
He looks concerned. Mark Bowen, who went down earlier, has an ice pack on his right knee, but he is off the bench walking around.
There's Jody coming to the sidelines. Just hope it's nothing serious.
Good to see him putting a little fresh on it. Hopefully it's not a bad injury.
New center in for the Red Devils. I didn't catch the number. Another option. I believe another fumble. And M.U.S. has recovered again.
Marshall Boswell's now doing double duty. He is the backup center for Jody Whitfield.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, the second half has been plagued by turnovers.
There's 5:34 left in the game. The M.U.S. on the 30-yard line, first down, 10 to go. Quarterback sack again by Eric Steele.
He's playing another super game, David.
Tell you, our pass rush has really helped us out this second half. Good, not only the rush, but containment. You know, you can rush too much and allow the quarterback to slip through, but each time we've had a good rush, they've also contained real well.
Exactly. The second down, 11 yards to go for M.U.S. Straight up the middle. Very strong run. I believe that was number 31, Bobby Wade.
Sure was, Bobby Wade.
Very strong young man.
Picked up the first down. As you can see, M.U.S. does have a very explosive offense. Moss made the tackle for Germantown.
Red Devils need to buckle down and see if we can stop M.U.S. here. It's first down, 10 yards to go. Ball slightly inside the 20-yard line on about the 19. Right in the heart of the trenches.
Steed, a halfback pass.
He's there.
Touchdown for M.U.S.
Number 40, Scott Williams, a 6'1", 168-pound junior, caught that pass.
Halfback pass.
Number 22, Jay Steed, passed it to him.
Beautiful play by M.U.S. Well executed.
Can't count the Owls out, that's for sure, David.
For the extra point.
There's 4:16 left in the game, as you see there. Score 16-6. I believe M.U.S. will probably go for 2 points here.
They're going. Yep, they are. They're going for 2.
Here we are. Wide drops back in the pocket. Quick pass and 2-point conversion is no good, so that will have to make M.U.S. if they want to get back and get the lead, they will have to score 2 more times. See an instant replay of the touchdown. It's a halfback pass. Right pitches to Steed. He throws it in the end zone to number 40. Number 40, Scott Williams for the TD. Good play for M.U.S. Germantown still has a 16-6 lead. They need a long ball control drive, Coach.
I tell you what, I'm sure Coach Nell will be satisfied. Just take the kickoff, grind it out, eat the clock up, and just don't let M.U.S. have the football again.
Exactly. As we see the Germantown sidelines with Coach Netherland and Coach Dukes.
You can see our defense now for the onside kick. We got most of the people up there are used to handling the football. Buzz Wathall, Von Tubbs, Forrest Neighbors, Gary Brown, Bob Jicks.
I would not be surprised to see the onside kick
They've
here.
just about got to do that. Now, they may choose to go deep keep us in a hole, make us have to, punt, get it back about to 50. But I think they almost in a position now where they're going to have to go with onside kick.
All right, here we go.
He's kicking off for the...
Ready for the onside kick. And he pops it straight up. It's fielded nicely by Paul West. And a good run back.
Ball's on about the Germantown 32. First down and 10 for the Devils. As you see, number 17, Paul West. Paul is 5'11", 165 pounds senior. One of the team leaders on Germantown's team.
Tell you what, that Hail Mary pass in the first half looms awful big now, doesn't it, boy?
It really does.
Jody Whitfield is not back in the game. Number 52, Marshall Boswell, will take over from center.
Red Devils run motion. And straight up the middle with Howard Miles.
Tough 3 yards, David.
See Howard getting up.
Ball's carrying. Hudson was in on the top. 2nd and 8.
Will be 2nd down for the Red Devils. I believe about 8 yards to go. Sweep. Howard Moss in the sweep. Another 3-yard gain.
Ball's carrying. Way
Excuse
down.
me, about a 2-yard gain.
Third and 5.
About 3 minutes to go, David.
Time is running out on MUS. They need to get the ball back. Fumble on the play, and Neighbors picks it up. And is unable to get the first down. They will be forced to punt. Another injured Red Devil.
I think he's just got a cramp. I think that's Bond Cuz. The way he's holding it, I believe he's got a cramp. But not that serious.
I got time.
Yeah, it is. They're rubbing it. He's trying to stretch it out.
4th and 8.
This cold weather, your muscles have a
Official
tendency
time,
to want to
official
cramp up on you.
Hey, as much as Bond's been playing, though, Eric, I would imagine he probably got a blow right on the back of that calf.
I'm
That's
sorry,
what
I didn't know
caused
that.
it.
Right.
As much as he's playing, he probably wouldn't get one, from non-work because
Right.
he plays both ways.
Exactly.
A
Bond is still down.
A report on Jody Whitfield. He may be back in the game. He's got ice on one of his knees. So 2 Devils have went out of the game with knee problems. They both have got ice on it and are very questionable to come back.
That was MUS.
Bond's still down on the ground.
Limited edition print. This is record print. Report by Mike Hicks. This is 21 3/4 by 16-inch full size, full color, limited edition lithograph.
Bond gets up and walks off field, and that's good to see, Coach.
Yeah, he'll be back.
And he trots off.
Under his own power. Nothing serious.
All right, it'll be 4th down for Germantown. They'll be punting the ball. Number 14, senior Buzz Wathaw will be doing the punting.
$20.
Hope Buzz gets a better kick than last time.
I believe they're going to try to block it.
MUS going for the block.
They got it.
Blocked. And MUS is not out of it.
Owen Tabor blocked the punt, David. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a
I'm
junior.
going to start the clock.
There's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter. MUS will have the ball 1st down and 10.
They need to score real quickly, I would think, Coach.
They're going to try to, I'm sure. They can't waste any time.
14, Andy Wright under the controls for MUS. Drops back for the pass. And
he's hit from his blind side. That's Eric Steele's 2nd.
It still falls down, but an excellent hit by Eric.
That's Eric Steele's 2nd. sack of the night.
I bet Wright feels like he got hit by a freight train on that play because Eric Steele weighs 265 pounds, and he was running full speed, Coach.
Again, that's the pressure you want from the front line. You know, we didn't blitz anybody. All we did, we just turned loose the tackles and the nose man. Hands contained. We got enough pressure from the tackle to do the job.
M.U.S calls timeout. Ball located on about the 36-yard line. You see a replay of that devastating hit, and you'll see Eric Steele come from nowhere.
The top of your screen, David.
Boom.
Bingo.
Beautiful hit by Eric Steele.
Number 54 missed the block, and Eric waltzed right on and got the quarterback.
We're back to live action. Second down, 15 yards to go. Red Devils will probably, I would think, be in a type of prevent defense.
Well, I don't think we're going to prevent. We're just going to loosen up a little bit and get the cover 5 with 2 free safeties.
Our linebackers are fairly deep.
Fumble.
Another
I think
fumble. I
Germantown
believe
got it.
Germantown.
They do.
Turnovers proving costly.
One of the Germantown linebackers saw that ball free and pounced right on it.
I believe it was Dixon on the recovery.
The first down for the Red Devils, ball on the 35-yard line. And as you see, Mike Witt,
senior field goal kicker for Germantown.
Your
Very good athlete.
purse has been found and turned into the press box. Come get it. We don't stay here very long after the ball game's over.
Wathaw on the carry, picks up about 2 yards for Germantown.
good play by the M.U.S defense.
Bobby Wade blitz in, got him right by the ankles, about the line of scrimmage.
Timeout, M.U.S.
And M.U.S is battling the clock as they are the Red Devils.
That's right. Minute and 35 left, David.
Time is running out on the Owls. Germantown just set to run straight up the middle, I would think. Try nothing fancy at this point in the ball game.
That's right. They don't want to get outside, which if maybe forced to run out of bounds, that'll stop the clock. They don't want to throw the ball. Incompleted pass will stop the clock.
LeMay, your purse is in the press box. If you don't pick it up pretty soon, we'll have to off this.
Wade.
Sorry for that technical difficulty. We apologize.
Moss, Watts, and Tubbs had to make a stop. First and 10, Owls.
56 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and Germantown looks like they have command of the ball game. The football is never over until the game is over, so see. Good defense by the Red Devils.
Howard Moss.
Second and 10.
Pass was intended for number 30, David Disney. 5'9", 156-pound junior. Second down and 10 for M.U.S. Oh! It's caught by number, see if we can catch a number on that.
Right over the outstretched hands of Howard Moss, and Germantown has another injured player.
Rob Sumner made the tackle.
believe that's Eric Steele that's down now.
That would be another big loss for the Red Devils.
They're shaking up on that. Pass lost complete.
Coach Smith looked like he might have been a little bit upset at one of the officials. We've lost 2 starters.
First and goal for the Owls. It's Germantown 9.
Looks like somebody might have stepped on his foot.
That's Stills shaking up on that play, getting the hand post.
Eric has played a superb ball game.
He's having an excellent season for Germantown, David. Coach Smith has to be pleased with his performance.
Quarterback drives straight back. Gonna try to run it in. Down to about the 5-yard line with time still running.
About 30 seconds left, David.
That was Manus tripping up.
He drives straight back. Ooh. Nice try by M.U.S.
Nice hit by Howard Moss afterwards. Howard continues to stick him.
Incomplete. The incomplete pass brings the time to 19 seconds. I believe it's 3rd down.
Moss. Third and goal.
See M.U.S.
Intercepted. Brian Donnelly intercepted for his 3rd interception of the year. Downs it. It'll be Germantown's ball, 1st down and 10. I believe on their 20-yard line, right, Coach?
I believe that'll be it for the M.U.S. Owls. There's 13 seconds left in the game, and I believe that just put the last nail in the coffin.
It's a good way to put it, David.
The Devils should get control of the ball on the 20-yard line if the interception holds. The officials discussing the play.
I thought we'd have it on the 20, but I don't know what the discussion is with the ball on about. Yeah, they're moving it up to the 20.
You see Bo Manus, number 83, does an excellent job on defense and on the specialty teams for the Red Devils. Well-deserved break.
There's 13 seconds left in the ball game. I believe Forrest will just drop on this ball. The Germantown Red Devils will come away with a 16-6 victory.
We've had 3 starters come out of the game with injuries. We don't need any more. We have a tough game next week.
Forrest just drops on the ball.
We'll play Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Pine Bluff is very highly ranked in Arkansas, very superb team, and
that's it, David. It's in the history books.
Germantown has come away with an exciting 16-6 victory over M.U.S.
M.U.S. 6, Germantown 16.
A great game, Coach.
Tell you what, it was played close to the vest the second half. We had that good, not a good lead, but 16 points in the first half, and that big play right there at the beginning of at the end of the first half really loomed very big in our favor.
The Red Devils offense moved the ball very well. We're not able to really score a lot. They would move down to their 20-yard line, and then the drive would sort of fizzle out.
Right. We did get that field goal, though. What was it, in the first or the fourth?
I believe it's in the 3rd quarter, Coach.
Right, in the 3rd quarter, yeah.
So that really did help the Red Devils, and the Devils had to be pleased with this big victory over M.U.S.
Yeah, coaches were pleased. They executed their game plans well. Some unofficial final stats. Forrest Neighbors carried the ball 7 times for 87 yards. We also had Cantu, Moss, and Wathall all carried the ball. So Germantown had variety in their running backs, even though one of their starters, Coppage, was out of the game.
Right, Howard Moss had a big game, 74 yards, and again, you have to go back to Forrest Neighbors. A couple of big plays in the first half that really ignited the Germantown offense and really set the stage for the entire ball game, Coach.
Tell you what, his ability to run the offense, I think, in the first half was the key. The second half, we never did get quite on track. Of course, what do we have, 2 or 3 fumbles? We lost 2 of them. One case, I think, it resulted in an M.U.S. touchdown. The others, our defense held tight. Of course, I'm a little concerned about the injuries. Now, any of them appear to be major injuries, but when you got a team like Pine Bluff coming in, it may knock Mark and Jody out of a couple of days of practice. Chris may not be 100%. I know that has to be a little concern for the coaching staff of the Red Devils.
The Devils are facing a little bit of adversity, like you said, with the injuries. Not a lot of depth at the running back position, not as much as you would expect. The three main running backs, a few younger running backs that are up and coming, Craig Hallman in particular, are very good, but have not had the experience really for varsity ball. So we'll just have to see if Cobbage can come back and play well and if his shoulder will heal. The three injuries that we did see, Eric Stills did not look too serious. I believe he walked off fine.
Right.
Mark and Jody both injured their knees, so we'll just have to wait and see in the coming week, Eric.
Yeah, they'll probably take it easy the first couple of days in practice. Maybe they might be able to get back in practice. If it's nothing serious, we need those two players that are key on defense for the Red Devils.
Exactly. They are definitely going to need them against Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Let's talk about them a little bit. I believe they're ranked 3rd in the state of Arkansas. Very tough team. West Memphis and Pine Bluff did play tonight. We'll just have to wait on the result of that ball game. I've heard that they are extremely tough ball club.
That's right. I tell you what, they've got good size. They'll match up with us in the size department.
Right. I believe our field reporter, Danny McCleary, has an interview with Coach Ken Netherland. Let's go down to the field at this time.
This is Ken Netherland, head coach of the Germantown Red Devil football team. Coach, once again, congratulations on your 4th win of the season.
Well, we're glad to win tonight. It was a close ball game and a typical M.U.S. Germantown ball game. They came back the second half and played a fine ball game. Our kids were lucky to hang in there and battle, and we came out the winner.
I noticed before the game you chose to introduce the defense, and deservedly so. They held M.U.S. to 7 points tonight.
Well, we try to alternate every other week, you know, with one or the other, and the defense had not been introduced, so that didn't have anything to do with it. But they did play an excellent ball game tonight.
I noticed Mark Bowen limped off the field in the 4th quarter. Did he suffer anything major tonight?
Well, the diagnosis right now doesn't look good. We think probably a torn ligament.
Well, at halftime, Coach Graves said he thought the team just wasn't concentrating on the game. Was that the case at all in the second half?
Well, I really don't know what. We let them get some plays and lost field position. We had too far to drive the football. We had some critical fumbles. Any one of those mistakes, you know, could have put us in a hole, and they did put us in a hole. But thank goodness our defense hung in there and played, and turned the ball game back around. They played tough when they had to.
Okay, so Germantown comes out on top tonight versus rival M.U.S. Congratulations once again, Coach, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, Danny.
This is Danny McCleary for GHS-TV. Let's go back up to David.
Coach, a very devastating injury to Mark Bowen.
Yeah, I hated to hear that. Now, anytime you got a ligament damage, they may have been talking about a stretch or maybe a partial tear. The good sign I did see, Mark was up walking around. And if that's true, hopefully he'll be back for next week. We need him.
Definitely.
All right, GHS-TV has been very excited to bring you this great game. Germantown comes up 16-6 over M.U.S. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Next week we'll be here live again against Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We hope you will enjoy and come out and watch the team as they take on Pine Bluff. For Eric Scott and Coach Jerry Ellis, I'm David Bryant. Have a very nice evening.